But tonight, just want to thank you guys for coming out. My name is Gary Bailey. I started Build in 2008. And before that, I was a real estate investor, just like you guys. And I had a hard time finding houses. I had a hard time getting financing. So we started Build as a way to keep that from happening. So we've been in business, like I said, since 2008. We have over 360 people who have bought houses from us. We sold over 700 houses during that time. And we've done hundreds and hundreds of loans as well. So we're very excited that we're coming into another year, and we're very excited that you guys are here tonight. As you'll hear, we don't sell anything other than the houses. So there's no sales pitch at the end or anything to join. I don't have a late night DVD series that you can buy. So we try to give out as much information as we can completely free, because honestly, it's not that complicated, right? Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about a topic that is very, very popular because it's the biggest challenge that a lot of investors face. It's how to recruit, manage, and pay contractors. So the thing is, when we started Build, a big challenge that investors had is they had a hard time finding houses. Well, we took care of that, right? So if you want to buy houses, you just come to us. We always have an inventory of 5 to 10 houses available. Most of the time, they're not on the open market, priced with your long-term success in mind. So we took care of that. We took care of that. The other thing we took care of is financing. So in 2013, we started a hard money loan company here in Cincinnati. We're the largest hard money lender that's locally based. And so even if you have not so great credit, maybe you've never done a rehab loan before, or maybe you're scared to do it and to take out a big crazy bank loan, you can come to us for a private loan. We'll finance the purchase price and the renovation of any of our properties or a property that you might find on your own. So we took care of that. So we took care of the houses, we took care of the financing. Not a problem for you, all right? We also provide free coaching and education, completely free. So we do these workshops. If you buy a house from us, you'll work with an individual associate who will help you all the way through your rehab. They will get as involved or as uninvolved as you want, short of swinging a hammer. But they'll help you. If you want to go to Home Depot and have them help you pick out materials, they'll help you do that. If you want to map out your project from start to finish with what you should be doing every week, how you should manage your contractors, they'll help you do that. So we took care of that as well. So we've removed a lot of the risk for you as well. Done, handled, right? We even have exit strategies for you. Exit strategies for you designed to preserve your profit margin. So every single Build associate is a licensed real estate agent. Will put together a listing package that fits your budget. If you really ran over your budget and you're like, I just need to get this house listed and I have to just sell it, we will work with you. We do flat fee listings. We do full service listings. We'll do open houses. It goes out on all the different MLSs and on Zillow and everybody else. So we have an exit strategy as well. So again, we've taken care of that for you as well. Done. The final challenge though, and our biggest challenge of all, is helping people manage contractors. Eventually, my vision is that we will have a company, kind of like our hard money lending company, that is a contractor dispatch company where you can just call them up, get a contractor that you need, that they work exclusively for real estate investors. We're not there yet. So we are teaching you as much as we can to know how to manage contractors yourself, how to recruit contractors yourself. We will fix this problem for you, I promise. And you'll look back at a couple years and be like, man, how did we ever get contractors on our own before Build's fix that problem for us? Does anybody have challenges with contractors, just in general? Yeah, right? It's hard, right? I think it's harder to find good, reliable contractors than it is for anything else. Harder than the houses, harder than anything else. It's very difficult. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. It's a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. So I hope you get a lot out of it. At the end, please do join us over at Mio's, where we host a little networking event. Everything is on us. So please, I promise you'll get just as much out of that as you will sitting in here for a little bit. So without further ado, let's dig right into this, okay? All right. So let's go over, first of all, some misconceptions that people have regarding contractors. And I would say that there's probably some misconceptions that contractors have about us as real estate investors, right? See, this is how they see us, right? Oh, we're real estate investors. We're making all this money, and they bought this house, and you probably told them you paid cash for it, and they've got all this stuff going on. You're just raking it in, investing in real estate, right? When in reality, it's more like this. Like, man, I just don't want to lose money, and hopefully at the end of this, we'll both still be married to our spouses, and we won't be living on the streets, and it'll all work out. See, because that contractor, they can go on and maybe find another job, but you're left with the house and left with that work. And you have very few ways you can hold them accountable. So if you don't pay the contractor, what can he do? Or she? They put a lien on the house, right? Now, I should note that if you get in a situation where they put an invalid lien on your house, are you familiar with the term treble damages? You know what that means? It means if they file an invalid lien, they're liable for 3 times the amount of that lien. It's a big deal. That'll get them to back off quickly, usually, if they file something bad. But what I'm trying to teach you tonight is that you have very few ways that you can protect yourself when they've got that power, that lien. That's important to communicate to the contractor that, hey, listen, if I pay you and you go off to Bermuda or I never see you again, there's nothing I can do. I can hire an attorney, maybe try to go after you. So you need to explain to them right from the very beginning that, hey, this isn't me. This is me right here, right? I'm new to this. I'm trying to get this done. The more money I make and the more money we make together, the more jobs we're both going to have, right? So you're on the same team. A lot of people assume that every single contractor is an expert. Well, when you're new and you get into this, you feel like, well, I don't know anything. And I met this guy, and I think I've told the story about how I got a quote from a contractor to refinish hardwood flooring in a 12 by 12 living room in a house I bought in Wilmington. The quote was $2,000 for one room. And I thought, that sounds pretty good, because the last guy quoted me $4,000. So you don't know, right? You can't assume that the contractor is an expert. So, because in reality, they're not an expert. It's reality, right? You have to educate yourself on even just basic construction. You can't rely on the contractor to say, okay, here you go. Let me know how much it's going to be. Call me when it's done. Like we talked about last month, we were really lucky to have Atlas Homes come up here and talk. They were three young guys who bought 3 or 4 houses from us now. They're all engineers. So they've got it all. They scope out their jobs, and they manage their rehabs from start to finish. And they dictate the pace and the pay and the schedule for the contractors. Make sense? All right, so that's a big misconception that they're all experts. Also the misconception is that they want to help you out. They do kind of want to help you out, and they'll say that, but at the end of the day, they've got bills to pay, right? And they're still going to be looking out for themselves in most cases, just like you're looking out for yourself, right? I mean, as much as we want to say it, but we're not running a charity here employing contractors off the streets and rehabbing houses for free or at a loss, right? So they might say they want to help you out, but just don't go into it thinking, okay, well, yeah, this guy's great. He really wants to help me. Don't always think either that they're going to be able to do the job with little or no oversight. You're going to have to manage them. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to give you some real practical tips that we have gathered by talking to those of you who have done very well. We say, hey, listen, what do you do exactly? Because you're knocking these things out. You're going to hear a story tonight of a first-time investor who rehabbed an entire house in I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks. And it was a bigger rehab. 4 or 5 weeks, knocked it out. The house closed yesterday, and I think they just bought it like 3 months ago. It's very, very neat. So they had a lot of oversight. All right, and finally, something we'll talk about tonight is that a handshake is not as good as a contract. You wouldn't ever buy a house from us without signing a purchase contract, right? You just sign it and be like, all right, well, we'll see you about the 28th. Come on in for a closing. Take care. No, that would never happen, right? You sign a contract. So we'll talk about that. In fact, tomorrow you're going to get an email. You're going to be able to download free contracts that you can use. And they're contracts to start. There's an addendum on there for if things get a little weird and you got to change something. And then there's a contract at the end. So we've got you covered there. We'll give it to you for free. Don't worry.